Why does this person look more elevated than that person? Well, I can reveal to you that it's all about certain tricks that they do in their styling that I'm now going to teach you in this video. My dear elegant ladies, welcome back to a new video. Ladies, today I'm wearing a dress by Lily Silk, who is a sponsor of today's video as we are celebrating their 12th anniversary. Now, I have been recommending Lily Silk to you in the past because they offer high quality silk at an affordable price. And ladies, you all know that silk is one of my favorite fabrics because it's actually one of those easiest ways to make yourself look more expensive. It is also a fabric that I do believe every elegant woman must have in her wardrobe. And some silk pieces that I really recommend you to invest in are midi skirts, tops, silk button-down shirts, silk dresses, silk pajamas, silk eye masks like you have seen me wear in previous videos whenever I showed you my sleeping habits. Now, I do love the fact that Lily Silk offers high quality silk pieces at an affordable price because this makes them very accessible to all of you around the world, and the good thing is that they do ship internationally. Currently, they have their 12th anniversary sale, meaning that right now, as you're watching this video, you actually have the golden opportunity to score some amazing silk bargains. But do you know what's even better? Is that I actually have 2 codes that you can use and get even more discounts. Either use my code ANNABAE12 for 12% discount on the entire site, or buy one and then get additionally 25% off with the code ANNABAE25. But please note that is only valid on women's apparel and sleepwear. For 4 years, I have been telling you ladies on this channel that to look expensive, you need to think about the colors you wear. We all know neutral colors will make you look more expensive, same goes for monochrome, but also colors that suit your complexion. But there is one more thing that is crucial that actually not everyone pays attention to, and that is the color and the fabric combination. Huh? When we're shopping on a budget in particular, we need to pay extra attention to this because cheaper fabrics, they cannot really be purchased in whatever color if you want to look expensive. And a foolproof method is usually to purchase neutrals, including whites and blacks. And you can really purchase them with full confidence in cheaper fabrics because most of the times it's gonna look fine. However, what won't look fine is when you start experimenting with color and cheaper fabrics. So let's say that you want to buy something on a budget that is unfortunately going to be made out of polyester. It's not the end of the world, but in a fast fashion store, some polyester is made out of some really cheap and rough looking material. Instead, there are some finer and more delicate polyesters that can look quite okay. So this garment, as an example, would look fine in a neutral color, even though it's made out of cheap polyester. But it won't look as fine if you buy it in a strong color. Let's say you purchase fuchsia or a strong green color. It's not because that fuchsia and green are not elegant. No, it's because it's a bold color, it's a strong color, and on a cheap fabric, actually, it highlights the small details of the fabric, meaning that you're gonna see that, I see some rough polyester going on there, versus a neutral color would have hidden that detail. I have a styling course called The Elegant Stylist where I teach everything I know about how to dress classy. And my students who took part of my class recently, I broke down to them the details of buttons. Because did you know that they're elegant and not so elegant looking buttons? And actually, this is a massive giveaway when you shop on a budget. Because in fast fashion stores, we will come across all kinds of ugly buttons, but in particularly large metal buttons that are very shiny, not very expensive looking. It doesn't mean though that all metal buttons are bad, because as an example, I have this Chanel jacket that has a beautiful metal button, but that looks a little bit more discreet compared to the shiny button from Zara. My advice, ladies, is to focus on purchasing buttons that somehow look natural. They don't have to be made out of pearl or bone, although that would be the most elevated thing to choose. Instead, if you find plastic buttons that are drawn, let's say to look like bone or pearl, that's gonna elevate the button a lot. If you want to wear, let's say, metal buttons and you are afraid that they will look cheap, then think about choosing a metal button that is encrusted somehow, has some form of engraving. That is always elevating, and you can oftentimes find them on a budget. So the most obvious giveaway when something is expensive or not is the fabric and the material of the garment. I have mentioned now for so many years to you ladies here on this channel that natural fibers like silk, cashmere, wool, linen, cotton, etc. are the ones that you should look for if you want to look more elegant and put together. And this is why I'm so happy that Lily Silk wanted to partner up with me in this video, because they actually provide silk at an affordable price. And additionally, they also have cashmere. As an example, here you can see a simple turtleneck, but because it's made out of cashmere, very natural looking fiber, a natural looking color, it instantly elevates the look when you wear it. And this turtleneck is, by the way, from Lily Silk. Another garment from Lily Silk that I really have to recommend to you is the sleeveless top. Made out of silk, of course. Look how nicely put together it looks when you wear it with, let's say, something as simple as a pair of white trousers. The silk material really does look elevated and more expensive, so here you can really see why silk is such an important fabric to invest in. Speaking of trousers, another tip of mine that I have shared with you in the past is how I recommend all of you ladies to really invest in tailored trousers, regardless if they're on a budget or not, because I do believe that that instantly elevates a person's appearance. But if we go deeper than that, you need to pay attention to waist placement of that trouser, because that is actually going to elevate your look too. As an example, the low waist, I would say, is by far the most cheap looking waist placement that exists. And unfortunately, it also only suits very few people because they have to have a specific body shape to be able to pull that off. But the rest of us mortals, we have to invest in mid-rise or high waist if we want to look expensive. And why is that? Well, ladies, that is because it elongates the entire body of a woman and makes it look very flattering. Here you can see as an example. I'm wearing a pair of low-waist skinny jeans, and this is for sure my biggest nightmare. Not only do I have a lot of side fat going on here, my body shape is not suitable for this kind of cut, but also the skinny effect of this trouser makes me look shorter and bigger. And look what happens when I wear a waist placement that is actually suitable for my body. And also, this trouser has a different cut and style. So immediately you can see that it actually looks better and more expensive. And you can also see that my legs look longer as a result. If you enjoy elegant and classic styles, then you're definitely gonna enjoy this tip. To easily look expensive on a budget, one really needs to do one simple thing, such as wearing a scarf around their neck. Here I'm wearing a beautiful silk scarf from Lily Silk. I believe that you can purchase scarves on any budget. A scarf doesn't necessarily have to be from some expensive designer brand. But look, with the scarf from Lily Silk, I have tied it together. And instantly this looks so elegant, especially if you wear the scarf with a shirt or with a blazer. It gives it a very polished and preppy look that we associate with being expensive, kind of gives that whole old money vibe. So one of my pet peeves, and let me know in the comments below what your pet peeves are, but it's the fact that today, comfortable has to equal ugly in our society. Now, we are living through a decade where the average person really does want to be comfortable in their clothes. And I get it. I want it too. But sadly, unfortunately, it seems like comfort equals, wearing sweatpants, wearing yoga pants, wearing those Birkenstock shoes, t-shirts, hoodies, you name it. Among many other unattractive styles, in my opinion. And I don't understand. What happened with putting comfort with style together in one category? As an example, as you can see, I'm wearing a shirt dress. And actually, shirt dresses are one of my favorite garments to wear. But guess what? Wearing a shirt dress is actually as comfortable as wearing a pair of yoga pants, a t-shirt. I don't understand why some people choose the latter when they want to be comfortable, when actually they can choose comfort and style at the same time. Now, in my fashion course, The Elegant Stylist, I do go over necklines because it's actually one of those things that women don't pay attention to when they style themselves. And it's almost like they think that, oh, you know, I can wear any form of neckline, it doesn't really matter. But actually, it does matter. You see, to look expensive, and especially if you want to do it on a budget, there is nothing that is more easy than actually just paying attention to the cuts of the garment and something like necklines. But then we also have some necklines that are more expensive looking than others, like turtlenecks as an example, because we kind of have the association of old money and intellectuals who wear them. We also have the boat neck, which is a cut that was very popular in the elegant era of the 50s, where you could see many elegance icons wearing them and making a big name for this simple cut. So something to pay attention to if you want to look more expensive. Unfortunately, if you are interested in elegant and classic styles, you are not mainstream in 2022. The average population today, they think that crop tops, they think that hot pants and skimpy dresses is what elevates someone. But I disagree. I think it's actually a cheap way of trying to look good, as it doesn't keep anything of the woman, for the imagination. Instead, I believe that when you opt for a modest style, you're actually automatically elevating yourself because you leave some room for imagination. And when I say modest fashion, I mean some people automatically think that we're talking now about something you wear because of religious reasons or that you have to be covered head to toe. But actually, modest can be, instead of wearing a mini skirt, you wear a midi skirt. Instead of wearing a deep décolleté, you show skin by wearing a boat neck. Or, instead of wearing a short bodycon dress, you wear a figure-fitted midi dress that put accents on your waist and is still figure-flattering. Now, there are cheap-looking prints, and then there are expensive-looking prints. And ladies, as a general rule, it's hard to say exactly what it is that makes a print look cheap. It can be anything from the design, from the color combinations, from your own associations to the print, among many other things. But if you're not experienced in the styling department, then I must tell you that be very careful with prints, because that's the fastest way to actually end up looking a bit cheap. Now, I would only advise my advanced ladies or ladies who have gone through my Elegant Stylist course to experiment with prints. Because unless you know what you're doing, you can easily get it wrong. And that downgrades your appearance instantly. Now, point number 10 is about you being your own stylist and using styling tools that all stylists use to make the person look their best. So if you're not using a steamer, nude underwear under your light clothes, among many other things, then you're gonna learn it in this video. Ladies, you're missing out if you still haven't created a whole arsenal of styling tools to make yourself look expensive. Now hop on over to that video to find out what those tools are. I will see you there.